Hello everyone, I'm Professor Lee of Dr. Anti-Aging and Herbal Medicine TV. In today's Part 5 lecture, we'll be exploring pills that have been scientifically proven to prevent or eliminate senescent cells. Some of the supplements I introduced today are ones I personally take. These are natural supplements that can be purchased without a prescription, so you can try them too. But remember, before taking them, it's crucial to understand exactly what senolytics are and how they work. Let's get started. Among all areas of anti-aging research, the development of senolytics, drugs that clear senescent cells, is one of the most active and rapidly advancing fields. If a true anti-aging drug becomes available in hospitals within the next 5 to 10 years, chances are it'll be a senolytic pill. The strategy for treating aging by managing senescent cells can be divided into three main approaches: prevention, suppression, and elimination. 1. Prevention refers to non-pharmacological lifestyle practices that reduce the accumulation of senescent cells in the body. 2. Suppression doesn't remove the senescent cells, but control the harmful substances they release. These drugs are called Senomorphics. They essentially silence the toxic signals from so-called zombie cells. 3. Elimination involves actually clearing senescent cells from the body. These are known as senolytics because they lyse or destroy the aged dysfunctional cells. Among these three strategies, prevention is the most practical and essential ones that you can start applying in your daily life right now. Let's quickly review the key prevention method. Lifestyle habits, caloric restriction, eating less, regular exercise such as aerobic and high-intensity interval training, quality sleep, stress reduction technique like meditation and yoga, and maintaining a healthy weight. Dietary choices focus on fruit and vegetables such as apples, strawberries, red onions, and cucumbers. Key nutrients, omega-3 fatty acids are among the most important in slowing down senescent cells buildup. Among all these methods, caloric restriction, simply eating fewer calories, has shown the most powerful effect in preventing the accumulation of senescent cells. How does caloric restriction help reduce the formation of new senescent cells? Caloric restriction works through multiple biological mechanisms. It reduces cellular stressor that would otherwise trigger the formation of senescent cells. It lowers the secretion of harmful factors from existing senescent zombie cells. It activates longevity genes, especially the sirtuin family, which play a crucial role in maintaining cellular health. And as we'll cover in the next section, it enhances autophagy, the body's cellular cleanup process that helps eliminate damaged components before they cause harm. Among the practical ways to implement caloric restriction, the most widely studied in recent years is intermittent fasting. Let's take a look at some real clinical findings. In adults who voluntarily practiced 30% caloric restriction for over 10 years, researchers found significantly lower level of pro-inflammatory proteins and senescent-associated secretory factors in colon mucosal cells. Other studies on middle-aged and older adults show that caloric restriction reduced the accumulation of senescent cells in immune cells, liver cells, neurons, kidney cells, and heart cells. These findings strongly suggest that caloric restriction not only prevents the buildup of senescent cells, but also improves cellular function and extends healthy lifespan. The second strategy is suppression. This approach doesn't directly eliminate senescent cells, but instead uses compounds that regulate various cellular signaling pathways to prevent senescent cells from becoming harmful zombie cells. These agents are known as Senomorphics. They suppress the negative effect of aging by reducing the inflammatory and damaging signals that senescent cells release. Interestingly, depending on the type of cell and dosage of a compound, some Senomorphics can also exhibit senolytic effect. In other words, certain compounds may both suppress and, to some extent, eliminate senescent cells under specific conditions. You might assume that removing senescent cells is always the best option. However, in certain tissues and conditions, senescent cells can actually perform beneficial roles, so leaving them intact may sometimes be the better choice. In these cases, the ideal anti-aging approach is not to eliminate the senescent cells, but rather to suppress their harmful hyperactivity. This is where Senomorphics comes in. Let's look at two important examples where this applies. 1. Tissue repair and wound healing. In situations that require tissue regeneration, such as wound healing or recovery from liver damage, senescent cells can secrete beneficial factors that support the healing process. For instance, in the skin or liver, substances released by senescent cells eliminate cell proliferation and migration, helping rebuild the damaged area. In such cases, eliminating these cells too early might delay or impair recovery. 2. Structural maintenance in cartilage. In loading-bearing tissues like joint cartilage, senescent cells may actually help maintaining structural integrity. They can act as a biomechanical buffer against physical stress and even protect neighboring cells. If these senescent cells are removed, it could lead to increased structural vulnerability, potentially accelerating joint degeneration. So, in this specific context, Senomorphics, which leave the cells in place but tone down their harmful signaling, may be the safer and smarter therapeutic choices. Now, let's go over some of the major xenomorphic compounds, substances that suppress the harmful activity of senescent cells without directly killing them. 1. Rapamycin is a prescription drug, originally approved by the FDA to prevent organ transplant rejection and treat a rare disease called lymphangioliomyomatosis, but it has gained significant attention for its additional properties. It slows cell growth and aging, enhances autophagy, which we will cover in detail in the next chapter, and reduce chronic inflammation. Rapamycin is now recognized as one of the most well-established xenomorphics that helps regulating aging and zombie cell behavior without eliminating the cell entirely. 2. Metformin is widely used as a first-line treatment for type 2 diabetes, but even in people without diabetes, it has shown remarkable anti-aging effect in various studies. One reason is that metformin activates the cellular antigen sensor, AMPK, which improves the metabolic state of senescent cells. This stabilizes the zombie-like cells and reduces the release of inflammatory substances. So, instead of removing senescent cells, it suppresses their toxic behavior, a classic xenomorphic action. We'll dive deeper into how metformin promotes autophagy in the next chapter. 3. Stacks, sirtuin activating compound. You may have heard of longevity genes. One of the most well-known is sirtuin-1, which regulates important processes like cellular aging, inflammation, metabolism, and autophagy. As we age, sirtuin-1 activity declines, but if we can deactivate it, we may be able to delay aging and extend healthy lifespan. Compounds that activate sirtuin-1 are called stacks, and they are also known to suppress the harmful behavior of zombie cells. The first stacks to be commercialized was resveratrol, a natural compound. However, resveratrol has lower bioavailability and stability in the body, which has led to the development of more powerful and stable stacks. Several of these next-generation compounds are currently undergoing clinical trials. We'll cover this in more detail in the upcoming chapter on autophagy. Let's now look at additional xenomorphic compounds, some of which may already be part of your current medical treatment or daily supplement. 1. Low-dose aspirin is widely prescribed for people with a history of cardiovascular disease as a secondary prevention strategy. But here's something fascinating. In animal studies, low-dose aspirin has been shown to extend the lifespan and healthy span. One of its anti-aging mechanisms is the suppression of senescent zombie cells. So, if you are currently taking low-dose aspirin under your physician's guidance, you may be benefiting from more than just heart protection. 2. Statins, especially simvastatins, are commonly used to lower cholesterol and treat hyperlipidemia. However, beyond lowering cholesterol, statins, especially simvastatin, have shown the ability to suppress senescent cells and zombie cell activity. For example, in human fibroblast studies, simvastatin reduced the formation of senescent cells. In breast cancer models, it helps suppress the cancer-promoting effect caused by zombie cells. While statins are not yet approved for anti-aging purposes, if you are already taking them for cholesterol management, it's good to know they may have additional xenomorphic benefits. 3. Several natural polyphenols have demonstrated xenomorphic effect in lab studies, particularly by reducing the activity of senescent cells. Some of the most well-researched compounds include Apigenin, Kaempferol, Quercetin, EGCG from green tea, and olive polyphenols. In cell studies, these compounds have been shown to decrease beta-galactosidase activity, a marker of senescence, suppress inflammatory proteins secreted by zombie cells. Many of these polyphenols are included in dietary supplement currently available on the market. If you are considering them for anti-aging purposes, it's best to consult a doctor or aging specialist beforehand. Now, let me introduce a few promising xenomorphic drugs that are currently under active clinical or preclinical research. These are designed to suppress the harmful activity of senescent cells without eliminating them. 1. NF-kappa B inhibitors, anti-inflammatory agent. NF-kappa B is a key driver of chronic inflammation in aging and senescent cells. Inhibitors that block this pathway are being developed to suppress the inflammatory secretions of zombie cells. These compounds show strong potential for reducing systemic inflammation and slowing age-related degeneration. 2. MAPK inhibitors, blocking stress signals. External stress signals such as oxidative stress, toxins, or radiations are often transmitted into the cell nucleus via specific signaling pathways. These stress can damage DNA and promote cellular senescence. MAPK inhibitors are designed to interrupt the stress signal transmission, protecting the DNA and reducing the likelihood of senescent cells activation. These agents are currently being tested in animal studies and early-stage clinical trials. 3. Statin inhibitors, reducing senescent cell activity. One of the proteins that stimulate zombie-like behavior in senescent cells is called STAT. Inhibiting these pathways has been shown to reduce zombie cell activity and slowing down aging in experimental models. A leading candidate is ruxolitinib, a STAT pathway inhibitor. In animal studies, ruxolitinib has shown promising effect in alleviating age-related symptoms, and clinical trials are currently underway to explore its potential as an anti-aging therapy. These cutting-edge compounds may shape the next generation of anti-aging medicine, offering powerful tools for managing senescent cells without destroying them outright. Let's summarize the clinical potential of xenomorphics, the compounds that suppress the harmful effect of senescent cells. 1. As standalone therapies, when used on their own, xenomorphics are effective in the early prevention of aging and the reduction of chronic inflammation. Among the options already in clinical use, several are being prescribed for other conditions such as Metformin for type 2 diabetes, statins for hyperlipidemia, low-dose aspirin for cardiovascular prevention. There are also natural compounds you can access without a prescription such as Resveratrol, Apigenin, Kaempferol, Quercetin, EGCG from green tea, olive polyphenols. These are available in many of the count supplements and may provide xenomorphic effect when used appropriately. 2. In combination with Senolytics, looking ahead, the next evolution in anti-aging medicine will likely involve combination therapy using xenomorphics together with Senolytics. Xenomorphics suppress the inflammatory damage caused by senescent cells. Senolytics actively remove the harmful cells from the body. By combining both, we may be able to more effectively prevent, delay, or even reverse age-related decline. Now, let's move on to the third strategy in senescent cell management, senolytic compounds, pills that actively eliminate senescent cells from the body. Some of these can already be purchased without a prescription, so pay close attention to see if they might be suitable for your personal health strategy. What are senolytics? Senolytics are compounds that selectively destroy senescent cells, which are cells that have stopped dividing but resist dying. The word senolytic comes from lytic, meaning to dissolve. These compounds are designed to trigger the death of zombie-like senescent cells. How do they work? Senescent cells don't die easily. They've developed multiple survival mechanisms, biological shields that protect them from cell death. Senolytic drugs target and disable these shields, allowing the senescent cells to undergo programmed cell death, apoptosis. Why are they important? In numerous animal studies and early-stage clinical trials, senolytics have been shown to extend health span, improve age-related conditions like atherosclerosis, liver fibrosis, and stem cell dysfunction, and reduce inflammation and improve overall dysfunction. Because of this effect, senolytics are considered some of the most promising candidates for future clinical anti-aging therapies. They could very well be the first anti-aging drugs prescribed in hospitals in the near future. Let's now explore the most notable senolytics, some of which you can already access today. Let's now talk about the first senolytic combination ever reported in a human clinical trial, the D plus Q combo, published in 2019. Dasatinib is an FDA-approved anti-cancer drug, and it's been shown to induce apoptosis in senescent cells. Quercetin is a well-known natural flavonoid found in many fruit and vegetables, and it also works by disrupting the protective shield of senescent cells. Here's the key insight. Dasatinib and Quercetin target different survival pathways within senescent cells. So when used together, they synergistically enhance the clearance of zombie cells far more effectively than either one alone. According to both animal studies and early human trials, the D plus Q combo has shown potential benefits in the following conditions: frailty and physical decline, osteoporosis, fatty liver disease, insulin resistance, neurodegenerative disease, vascular dysfunction, pulmonary fibrosis, chronic kidney disease, and skeletal muscle dysfunction. Clinical research is still ongoing, but this combination is now considered a major breakthrough in the search for effective anti-aging therapies. Can you take D plus Q? Dasatinib is a prescription-only anti-cancer drug, so it's not available for general use. But Quercetin is a natural supplement available over the counter, and you can safely use it as a part of your senolytic regimen with proper understanding and caution. While official dosing has been established specifically for senolytic purposes, research and expert consensus suggests the following: dosage 500 to 1000 mg per day for adults. Intermittent dosing is preferred. Take Quercetin for 2 to 3 consecutive days, once per month. This mimics the D plus Q cycle seen in clinical trials. Take with food to improve absorption. You can further enhance bioavailability by combining with piperine, black pepper extract, and bromelain pineapple enzyme. There is no specific time of day required. Take it at your convenience. Safety and precautions. Quercetin is generally considered safe. However, high doses may cause gastrointestinal discomfort, headache, or fatigue. If this happens, simply pause use and resume at a lower dose. Also, if you are taking anticoagulant or antibiotics, consult your doctor. Avoid long-term high-dose use, as it may increase the risk of liver toxicity. Another reason why intermittent dosing is the safer option. Now, let's explore emerging senolytic strategy, pills designed to eliminate senescent cells through several mechanisms that are currently being tested in animal and human studies. Senescent cells protect themselves from death by stabilizing the membrane of their mitochondria using a protein called BCL2. By blocking BCL2 or weaken the mitochondrial membrane, causing the senescent cells to lose its survival shield and undergo apoptosis. Animal studies have confirmed that BCL2 inhibitors can effectively eliminate senescent cells, and several compounds are now in clinical trials. You may have heard of heat shock protein 90, a molecule that helps protein fold correctly and stay stable under stress. Senescent cells exploit this mechanism by increasing HSP9 activity, allowing them to survive in conditions that would normally trigger cell death. Interestingly, cancer cells use this trick too. When HSP9 is inhibited, senescent cells can no longer stabilize key proteins, leading to cellular collapse and death. Many HSP9 inhibitors have shown promising results in animal studies, both in clearing senescent cells and extending health span. Because of its dual application in cancer and age-related disease, this class of drugs are attracting significant clinical interest. You may remember the p53 protein from our previous episode on DNA repair. It's known as the guardian of the genome. When DNA damage is detected, p53 activates repair systems, but if the damage is beyond repair, p53 triggers the death of damaged cells, a mechanism that also removes senescent cells. Recent experimental drugs have been shown to selectively activate p53 senescent cells, leading to their removal. This selective targeting has been validated in animal models, positioning p53 activators as a breakthrough tool in anti-aging medicine. Some cardiac glycoside drugs already used to treat heart failure have recently been discovered to possess senolytic properties. They work by disrupting the electrical balance of senescent cells, causing them to self-destruct. Because of these drugs are already approved and widely used, they offer a safer and faster path to repurposing for senolytic therapy. Clinical trials are ongoing, and these compounds may soon play a role in both anti-aging and anti-cancer treatment strategy. Senescent cells contain high level of beta-galactosidase, an enzyme that you can use as a biological marker. You may recall the staining method we discussed, where senescent cells turn blue-green under the microscope due to this enzyme. Now, scientists are developing smart drugs that bind specifically to this enzyme, and once inside the senescent cells, they release toxic agents that kill the senescent cells. This target strategy spares healthy cells and selectively removes the senescent cells. Animal studies have confirmed its precision, and is being hailed as a next-generation solution for safe and effective cellular rejuvenation. These cutting-edge senolytics represent a paradigm shift in aging research and could form the basis of a future anti-aging treatment that are both precise and powerful. Now, let me introduce a supplement that I personally take, Fisetin. What is Fisetin? Fisetin is a natural flavonoid found in small amounts in many fruits and vegetables, such as strawberries, apples, and onions. That means most of us consume trace amount of Fisetin regularly without even knowing it. According to current estimate, the average daily diet intake of Fisetin is only 0.4 to 0.8 mg per day, a very small amount. Some supplements also use Fisetin extracted from the lacquer tree. It appears as a yellow crystalline powder that's poorly soluble in water, but well soluble in oils, allowing it to easily pass through cell membrane and act within cells. Fisetin has been studied for a wide range of biological activities, including antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, lipid lowering, heart and neuroprotective effect. But what makes Fisetin especially exciting in recent years is its strong senolytic activity, its ability to selectively eliminate senescent cells from the body. Fisetin doesn't just act on only one survival pathways used by senescent cells. It targets multiple protective mechanisms, making it a broad-spectrum senolytic agent. It helps induce apoptosis in zombie-like cells, while sparing healthy, functioning cells. In animal models, Fisetin has been shown to extend health span, and our human studies are showing encouraging results because it's a naturally derived compound, is widely available to the public, and can be purchased without prescription. If you are thinking about trying Fisetin for its senolytic effect, I'll now walk you through some of the latest human trial results and best practice for safe use. Let's now take a close look at the ongoing clinical research on Fisetin, including how it's being used, studied, and showing promise as a future anti-aging therapy. As of now, around 30 clinical studies are investigating Fisetin. Most of these trials focus on frailty and age-related conditions, but Fisetin is also being studied for metabolic and neurological disorders across different age groups, and even as a treatment in infectious disease like COVID-19. 2018 colorectal cancer patient study, when patients took 100 mg per day of Fisetin alongside chemotherapy, there was a significant reduction in inflammatory markers associated with zombie cell activity. 2019 acute ischemic stroke patient study, daily supplementation with 100 mg of Fisetin improved clinical outcomes and reduced biomarkers related to senescent cell activity. 2022 healthy adult study, participants taking 100 mg per day showed a reduction in senescent cells related blood markers and a decrease in aged mononuclear cells in peripheral blood. This study suggested that a lower daily dose of Fisetin may have beneficial effect on inflammation and senescent cells activity. More recent trials are moving away from daily dosing toward a high-dose intermittent approach, often called the hit-and-run protocol. Here's how it works. Dosage: 20 mg of Fisetin per 1 kg of body weight, taken daily for 2 consecutive days, followed by 4 weeks up. The cycle is then repeated monthly. This protocol is based on the understanding that Senolytic rapidly kills senescent cells and the immune system clears the debris over the following weeks. Because the dosing is not continuous, this method offers greater potency, lower side effect, and better convenience. That's why many people are already trying this method, though it is still strongly recommended to do so under the guidance of medical professionals. Fisetin is emerging as a high-potential senolytic due to its ability to reduce senescent cells, suppress chronic inflammation, and potentially improve quality of life while reducing long-term healthcare costs. Ongoing clinical trials are targeting frailty, musculoskeletal disorders, geriatric syndromes, cardiovascular disease, and even infection-related inflammation. Fisetin may soon become a mainstay of anti-aging interventions and chronic disease management. The recommended dosage is based on clinical studies using the hit-and-run protocol. Take 20 mg of Fisetin per kilogram of body weight for 2 consecutive days, then pause for 4 weeks before repeating the cycle. For example, if you weigh 70 kg, the daily dose would be 1,400 mg per day, taken for 2 days in a row. However, since this dose is not yet standardized for long-term use, it is strongly advised to follow this protocol under the guidance of an anti-aging specialist or healthcare professional. Fisetin is fat-soluble, so it's best taken with a meal or alongside a fat-containing food. Supplements that combine Fisetin with lipid carriers or absorption enhancer like Piperine or liposomal formulation are also being developed to improve its bioavailability. Who should consider Fisetin? This regimen may be particularly beneficial for older adults and individuals with chronic conditions where senescent cells may worsen disease progression, such as metabolic disorders, cardiovascular disease, neuroinflammation. Side effect and safety profile. So far, Fisetin has shown a favorable safety profile in clinical research. Reported side effects are rare and mild, such as lightheadedness or dizziness, bloating, loss of appetite, fatigue, headache, low-grade fever, muscle soreness. If side effects occur, you can simply pause the supplement and resume at a lower dose later. Because Fisetin may interact with other medications, it's important to consult a doctor if you are currently taking prescription drugs. Fisetin is rapidly metabolized. Even high dose like 1000 milligrams are typically eliminated from the body within 2 hours via urine or feces. This short biological activity window is a challenge, which is why new formulations are in development to prolong its action and improve its overall effectiveness. Over time, further research will help define the optimal dosage, formulation, and long-term safety of Fisetin. Now, I'd like to introduce 3 natural compounds that you can already purchase and use as dietary supplement, but keep in mind, more research is needed before they can be confidently used for senolytic purposes. Curcumin is a well-known polyphenol extracted from turmeric, with a long history of research supporting its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer effect. Recently, it has gained attention for its lifespan extending properties in fruit flies and nematodes. This suggests potential benefits for healthy aging. Limitation of standard curcumin, poor water solubility, rapid metabolism, low bioavailability. To overcome these issues, researchers have developed more bioavailable analog, the most promising being EF24 curcumin. In lab studies, EF24 demonstrates 10 times greater cancer cell killing activity than regular curcumin. More importantly, EF24 has shown senolytic effect in aged human disc cells, fibroblast, endothelial cells, and kidney epithelial cells by disrupting the survival mechanisms of senescent cells. However, no human clinical trials yet exist for EF24 or curcumin as a senolytic, so it's too early to recommend for that purpose. Pipalongumin is a natural compound extracted from plants in the black pepper family. It acts by degrading oxidative stress-resistant protein that senescent cells rely on for survival. Without this defense, the senescent cells undergo apoptosis, while normal healthy cells are largely unaffected. In vitro studies have confirmed its selective senolytic effect, and many derivatives are currently being developed and tested. While promising, clinical trials are still needed before routine use. 2 major bioactives in ginger, gingeranol A and 6-sugar, have demonstrated dual action in lab studies. Senolytic, they induce cell death in senescent cells. Senomorphics, they suppress inflammatory secretions from zombie cells. This combination of action makes them especially intriguing. However, as of now, these effects have only been confirmed in cell-based studies, and human trials are not yet available. In summary, while all 3 compounds, curcumin, especially EF24, pipalongumin, and ginger derivatives, are easily accessible as supplement, their senolytic effects are still under investigation, and more clinical evidence is needed before they can be widely recommended for anti-aging therapies. To wrap up today's lecture, I introduced 2 of the most cutting-edge technology in senescent cell therapy. These 2 methods are designed to precisely target and eliminate senescent cells, much like a guided missile system. PROTAC stands for proteolysis targeting chimera. Imagine it as a molecule capsule with 2 hands. Once inside the senescent cells, one hand binds to a specific protein that the cell uses to resist death. Other hand is recruit an enzyme called ligase, which escorts that protein to the rhizome, the cell's garbage disposal, where it's completely degraded. Unlike traditional senolytic drugs that simply block the function of survival protein, PROTAC removes the protein altogether, leading to stronger and longer-lasting effect with lower dosage. It's also highly selective, meaning it targets senescent cells without harming normal cells, reducing the risk of side effect. Because of its precision and power, PROTEC technology is being seen as a next-generation therapeutic platform for both aging and cancer. CAR T-cell therapy is immune cells reprogrammed to kill senescent cells. This approach uses body's own immune system to eliminate senescent cells. Here's how it works. T-cells are first extracted from the patient's blood. In the lab, scientists insert specific genes into these T-cells. One gene helps the T-cell recognize senescent cells. Others enhance the T-cell's killing power and survival ability. These genetically enhanced T-cells are then multiplied outside the body and re-infused into the patient. Once inside the body, the engineered T-cell circulates through the bloodstream, detects senescent cells with high precision, and directly eliminate them. This innovative method has already shown success in reversing tissue damage in conditions like liver fibrosis and lung cancer. It represents one of the most promising frontiers in regenerative and anti-aging medicine. Now, to wrap up today's lecture, let me summarize the most practical anti-aging strategy for removing senescent cells without prescription drugs. Key lifestyle practice, caloric restriction, the most powerful natural method, exercise, especially aerobic training and high-intensity interval training, quality sleep, stress management like meditation and yoga, weight control, anti-aging food and nutrient, fruit and vegetable, apples, strawberries, red onions, cucumbers, essential nutrient, omega-3 fatty acid, recommended herbal teas, Japanese Angelica root tea, or goat cola leaf tea. Natural supplement consider Fisetin, a powerful natural senolytic, available as a supplement. If you watch the lecture closely, you will know how and when to take it. If you've been following along, I believe you now have a solid foundation to begin practicing this longevity strategy. Still have questions? Feel free to leave a comment below. I truly hope anti-aging and longevity series has helped deepen your understanding of senescent cells and how to manage them. Thank you so much for your focus and effort throughout this lecture. In our next lecture, we will be discussing anti-aging through enhanced autophagy. Autophagy is the body's natural ability to recycle and clean up cellular waste. And everyone has this ability. But when we enhance autophagy, we help our cells stay younger, cleaner, and healthier. Stay well, and I'll see you in the next class.